Hey everybody, Ray here. Welcome back to another video. Um, yeah, so the last video, I think, what was I doing? Transmission, windshield washer, pump, put my cowl on, that kind of thing. Um, so it's been probably a little over a week, or at least that, since I've done that video. So I'm still waiting for transmission parts. I'm still waiting really just on one washer. Um, but I have done a few things since then, so I'm just going to show you. It's just a lot of little stuff. Oh, here we are. I got the hood on. Um, yeah, so before I put all my trim on, which as you can see I've done here, I had to put my hood on so I could line up my latch. It closes, latches great. I have my grill on. I had to fix it in a couple spots. You can see just a little patch right there and there. Yeah, it was cracked, so I cleaned it up a couple times, fixed that. These holes back here needed to be fixed down there. Yeah, that's all fixed. I put a new badge on the front, or emblem, I guess. So that looks pretty good. All my trim doesn't look too bad. I painted it. I don't know if I showed that last video, but this was the original piece that was riveted in. Yeah, everything was still there, but I had to, you can see it's a little dinged up in the corners, but I'm not too worried about it, honestly. These were original trim pieces. I painted those. This was originally painted. So yeah, I just painted it silver. Same thing over here. There's a little ding in the corner there, but nothing too serious. This trim piece, this was actually in the car when I got it. It was a new old stock. I know, stone deflector chrome trim. And then I also have the trim on the hood already. Doesn't look too bad. Trim around the edges. This trim, I believe I cheaped out on. You get what you pay for with this kind of stuff. It really wasn't shaped quite right. It looks okay for what it is. I'm not too worried about it. To be honest with you, it's easy enough to get. If I feel that it's bothering me, I can take it off and put it back on pretty easily. They were just spring clips on the back of this, and you can see that's just bolts, and there's spring clips on the trim that go in the notches and the little rail that runs through there, and they're just bolts in the back. So yeah, everything's working okay. I took my belts off and cleaned everything. Tightened up my alternator belt. What else did I do? Yeah, that was pretty much the big stuff. Like I showed you, got my wiper arms on. I can't remember if I showed you that video. Did that. Got new windshield wipers. The wiper fluid washer container I still haven't fixed yet. I'm about to do that right now, so I'll see how that goes. I got a plastic welding repair kit, and I found out where it was leaking was right where it looks like it was fixed already. So as soon as you bolt that on, I remember leak testing. I don't think it leaked before, but as soon as I bolted it on, either that cracked again or it was always cracked. So it's hard to say. Well, there's my old badge. It was looking pretty beat up. Chrome was all gone on it, so why not get a new one? I've made it look too nice, I feel, already. So as soon as you put something crappy on that doesn't look great, it doesn't look good at all. I don't like it. So yeah, there's the front end. Looks pretty good. Oh, one big thing is I did get my transmission rebuild kit. So the only thing I'm waiting on is a washer. So I did rebuild the transmission already. It was pretty straightforward. I didn't film any of it. If you want to see how one's built, there's lots of videos online of guys doing these. The Boss Garage has a good one. Yeah, they're pretty straightforward. I did replace all the thrust washers, and it comes with, once you get it all together, you got to measure the end play, and then you can choose which thrust washer you I'm going to start with the one that was in there. And yeah, it comes with washers that go on here or this, and you just play with the combination until you get whatever end play you want. What else? New bands. My throttle body's ready to go in. Yeah. Oh, and today, so since I have all that out and I have some time, I noticed my gear shifter. I think the bushings were gone when I pulled it out. I didn't really notice. I pulled it out, cleaned it, just put it back together, but it moves all over the place, which I think is causing me some issues when I put it into gear. So I've got new bushings. Hopefully these are the right ones. And I've also got, I'm not going to put these on yet, but I did order these. These are the fender badges. Say the Mustang on them. So pretty much had, these are the original ones that came on the 69. I did have some new old stock, like pony badges, like what's on the front grille. I could put those on if I want. Those weren't a 69 option. Those were, I think, 67. I think 68 actually had the writing as well, but different font. Just trying to bring back a little bit of 69 into this car because I did change it up a bit. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed, I did get rid of the side scoops that were on the side. I was going to put them back on. Nobody's commented on it yet, but because this 70 didn't have them, but 69 did, and 69 and the 70s are really similar, so I did get rid of those. The ones I had originally, they were really beat up. A lot of the tabs were broken, and nobody really remanufactures them, I found. Or if they do, it's really cost prohibitive to buy. I found some new old ones, and they were like, people are selling the same kind of condition that I had already. So I actually like the look of it without it. So those are staying off. So yeah. I got all my clutches in. So these were the old clutches. Everything looked okay, but just, to be safe, I replaced everything. Yeah, that's it. So right now, I just finished testing out my oil pressure gauge. It does read low. When it's at, like, I get 50 PSI oil pressure when it's running, so that's fine. I think that must be what the bypass is set to. So 50 PSI, no matter what. If I rev it up, it goes up a little higher. When it gets warmed up, it drops down a little bit. But on the gauge inside, as you can see right there, I'm using the original gauge. So there's marks on it, low and high, and it just goes up above low at 50 PSI. To get it in the center, it's almost 70 or 80 PSI, which isn't going to happen. So apparently that's a thing on these older Mustangs. It's got the original voltage regulator in the dash as well, so that can cause issues. So I'm not too concerned about it. It does read. I hooked up an air pressure gauge to that oil pressure sender. I had a little setup going here where I plugged it in, hooked up the wire, plugged my air pressure sender into there, hooked up the gauge, had this gauge so I could verify the pressure. And yeah, it does move up and down, and I know where on the gauge, but it moves like, an eighth of an inch between 20 PSI and 50 PSI, and it goes up a little higher. I might look in to see if there's a different range. I did ohm it out at different pressures. Yeah, there's a list there. At 20 it was 35 ohms, 50 it was 30, 80 it was 25. So it's only got a 10 ohm range, which is really nothing. So yeah, there's not much you can do about that, really, unless I want to replace the entire gauge cluster and voltage regulator and stuff like that, which I don't. So I'm confident that it's going to be okay. Yeah, I put this in. I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. I was just going to glue a little badge I had 3D printed onto there, but I don't think it was going to last. This is the original antenna that was on the car. It doesn't look actually half bad. but I may just trim that. I just cut the antenna off and may use it as a hole blocker. Um, I don't know if I'll keep that like that or not, but I will. It's good enough for now. Um, what else have I got to do? Oh yeah. So right now I'm going to pull that dash out, or the console out, and pull my gear shifter up, and see if I can get those bushings replaced. Let me show you what I mean when it's loose. Because when I grab it, it moves back and forth. See how much it moves? So that's not ideal. Should be a little tighter than that. So that may cause me some issues. So since I have time, I might as well do it right now. So I got that to do and my windshield washer kit. So actually, I'll do my windshield washer right now. We'll see how that goes. Okay, well, I don't know if you can see that there very well. There was a crack all the way along here and then kind of spread out. I tried using just was a zip tie for plastic just to kind of as a filler. It didn't work very well. It just kind of bubbled and boiled, and it's probably a different type of plastic than what's on here. So the kit comes with some filler plastic. So yeah, I tried it out and it worked really well, I think. Oh wait, maybe not. I think it's still cooling. I better not mess with it. Yeah, anyway, we'll let it set up and then I'll give it a leak test and see what happens. Okay, so that didn't work at all. I leak tested it. No drips, no leaks. Looked good. So that one I'll bolt it in, give it a try. As soon as I poured fluid in, it started pouring out the bottom. So I was like, okay. So yeah, as soon as you tighten it up, it splits right there. So I'm just gonna snap the goddamn thing off. So there, that's gone. So yeah, I'm going to seal this up nice. Just make it one flat piece and see if I can just glue this on top so that crack is no longer present. Yeah, we'll give that a go, because I'm getting kind of annoyed with this. It shouldn't be this difficult. I'm tired of buying stuff for the car, so I refuse to buy a tank. Okay, I have got this installed. It is not leaking, which is good. I don't know how much fluid I put in. Half tank. So it's not pouring out the bottom, which that's the first. So yeah, let's see what happens. I think I need to turn my key on. May have to get inside. Yeah, let's get inside. All right. How does this work? Push. Oh, I got one. I got two. There we go. That one shoots a little high, but that's okay. There we go. I got squirters. Yeah, that's one thing done. There we go. So what's leaking down there? Or is that just... Where's that coming from? It's coming down here. I think that's just coming off my windshield, so that's good. Yeah, that's just coming down here. All right, perfect. That's that. I don't see nothing dripping out the front. I got no leaks along my tube. There we go. So that's done. So I think, yeah, I can pull out that center console now and pull that gear shifter out and see how it looks. All right, so I got the console off. I just have it held in with 4 screws. And then there's this cover. It's held on with a few screws, and then you have to take your gear handle off here, and then there's 4 bolts that have to come off here, and then that's it. And normally your transmission would be attached, but it's gone now, so let's get this apart and see what it looks like. All right, so I've got it pulled apart here. So it's just a 2-piece. This goes in here. As you can see, there's nothing in there currently. I did clean it up. There was nothing in there before, so I half wonder if things just either got removed or broke apart, fell out, or what. So yeah, then I found out I was missing bushings in there. So hopefully apparently one goes in from each side. They just really need to fit this shaft. This goes all the way in, and then it's keyed to accept that, and then there's a nut on the other side. So get these put in and we'll see how it works. All right. Well, I got it back together. 1 bushing on each side. It's way better than it was. It doesn't flop around anymore. It goes through the gears perfectly. That was the only issue I think I had before. If you could put in neutral and these detents, like the whole thing would turn, and you could jump into another gear without it without pushing the button to lift it up. So yeah, that's nice and tight now. Doesn't flop around, so we'll get it put back in, and I'll show you how it works. So we just got it bolted in. So you can see now it doesn't wobble at all. Straight up, straight back, no side to side movement. That is so much better than it was before. Before it was really flopping around. So yeah, that's good. So I can get this put back together, and we'll take a look then. All right, so there it is. You can see how much tighter it is right now. So yeah, that's way better. No back and forth, no looseness. It's not going to pop out. Yeah, that was well worth it. For a few bucks for bushings, not too bad. So I think that's going to be it for me today. Yeah, and also that's it for the video. So yeah, hopefully in the next week or so I get some parts rolling in and then get this transmission in, because I am itching to get this thing on the road, get safety, get everything done. Yeah, I think transmission's pretty well lit, and then a little bit of tuning, but I gotta drive it and do a bunch of stuff and alignment and things like that. But yeah, anyways, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.